Here I have Nicci. She is born and raised in Plymouth, UK. Her husband is a pilot for the Royal Air Force, and they are currently here on exchange to New Mexico for 3 years. They have been here for just over a year. Nicci, what is your definition of ethnicity?
Okay, I did have to think about this because I wasn't entirely sure, but my thoughts are that ethnicity is something which is more hidden than race. So just so I can clarify between the two, I've always assumed race was something which was very obvious, such as your colour, so whether you're black or white or Hispanic. Whereas I believe ethnicity is more to do with hidden features such as where you're from, possibly cultural issues or concerns, and religious perhaps as well.
Yes, I would completely agree with you. To me, I would say that ethnicity describes a group of people who share many of the same traditions, values, and beliefs, kind of like you were saying, and they often identify with each other based on their culture and or the nation of origin. Mm-hmm. I think in the U.S. we often mistakenly use the term ethnic to describe an individual group of people who have darker skin, like she's very ethnic looking, mm-hmm. even though, like you said, ethnicity goes way beyond skin color and physical features.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I think it's something that's not outwardly obvious. So yeah, you can't tell from looking at somebody other than possibly their colour where they could have originated from, basically.
Right. What would you say that is the most commonly held misconception about people of your ethnicity?
So I think perhaps people often assume the British are often a little bit stuck up, perhaps a bit posh. And I think some of that I feel might come from having watched shows on US TV or movies that might sort of dictate how they think the British should act or how they portray themselves. I think the connection with the royal family often gives people this thought that we're quite royal in general and quite posh. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that goes for some people. However, I think a lot of what people assume we are based on TVs and shows isn't quite accurate. And it's a very varied culture, as it's probably the US is. So.
Right. Have you ever felt excluded based on your ethnicity?
I haven't personally felt excluded. I would say, quite contrary to that, I've actually been quite included here in the US. Not like as a celebrity, but I feel very much like I'm very welcomed over here, partly because I'm white and because I'm British, and I think people love the accent. It's something that's unusual, especially probably in this particular area. It's not a big city, it's a small place, and us being here is unusual in the fact that we're the first British family here on an exchange in New Mexico. So often greeting people, they're quite fascinated by us, our accents, how we ended up here, what we do, and often find some kind of connection, whether it's that they've been to the UK themselves or they have family living over there, and they almost like that feeling that, actually we're quite connected. So, it's a feel-good factor, and it's quite nice. So, yeah.
Do you remember excluding others based on ethnicity?
Outwardly, no, but when we first knew we were coming to America, we probably, I can't really speak for my husband, certainly I felt perhaps I had some stereotypes based on similar things that I might have watched on TV or seen or heard. So I have an American best friend who happens to be very loud and obnoxious, and I kind of thought that maybe all Americans were a bit like that, which is totally, unnecessary for me to feel like that. But I suppose I'm only going off what I know, and that's all I kind of knew of Americans. I've only been a handful of times to the States on holiday, and I guess my other thought was, everybody has guns, everybody might be a bit crazy, it's maybe not that safe, but actually being here, it's very different when you get to know people and know certain things and laws, etc. So your thoughts can run away with you for sure.
How important is it that people understand people of other ethnicities.
Yeah, it's really important. I think if you want to integrate properly as a society and have that connection with people, then yeah, you have to make room to understand other people and their beliefs and their thoughts, and equally offer, you know, your thoughts and feelings. And, you know, I guess it's what makes the world go round. We're all different, but we all offer something unique. Yeah, I think it's important to understand other people. For me, certainly, I always enjoy finding out about people and where they've come from, what their background is, what they believe in. You know, it doesn't matter to me if we have differences. I've always been, you know, that's your thought, this is mine. However, that's not going to affect us as a friendship. Or so yeah, it is really important, I think. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
No
I
worries.
appreciate it.